Touch the letter, everyone, and welcome to the lesson 8 of intermediate reading class, Sakya Legshe, chapter 1, examining the voice, lesson 8, verse 9. So we will be proceeding as usual. I will be reading the syllable, each syllable 4 times. Each word 4 times, each line 4 times, and then the entire verse 4 times. And after which we have, for today, we have Nadiela, who will be reading after me. So, and after which I'll provide some feedback regarding the pronunciation. Okay, so let us begin today's lesson with this verse of dedication. And as we are moving forward with the class, so we'll have only 9 for this part. That is the intermediate reading part 1. We will have only 9 lessons on Sakya Legshe, and the words that we're using, many of them have already been discussed. So we'll find that there will be only less and less words as new words in each lesson as we move forward. Okay, so we begin with this verse of dedication. Gombo kengni dala kongsu se, tartre lam cho tembe gombo ni, da so kyuna ningje separze, manor lam san nele mayin sho. Gombo kengni dala kongsu se, tartre lam cho tembe gombo ni, da so kyuna ningje separze, manor lam san nele mayin sho. So this verse, the translation will be available later in the later part, the later material that will be posted. So I will briefly translate here. Gombo kengni dala kongsu, the one who is the savior and protector. Please, I request to you to listen to me. O Lord, who guides us on the most excellent path towards liberation, gaze upon us, all of us, through your eyes of compassion. May we never falter, or may we never shake or astray from this path which is correct and right. Okay, now with this verse, let us begin our class for today. So this is the verse 9, chapter 1, Sakya Legshe. So let me begin. Ke, 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 ba, 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 keba, 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 yun, 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 ten, 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 yun ten, yun ten, yun ten, yun ten, gun, 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 lấp, 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 pa, 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 Gyaltsen, 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 Kheba Yunten Gyaltsen, Kheba, Kheba Yunten Gyaltsen, Kheba Yunten Gyaltsen, Kheba Yunten Gyaltsen, Thar, 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 Chin, 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 Tarchin, 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 Chick, Chick, again. So, is it audible now? Is everyone able to hear?
Yes, now we can hear.
Lasso. So, when did the sound disconnected? Was it from the beginning or was it in between?
In the middle of the second line.
Okay, so thar, 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 chin, 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 tarchin, 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 chick, 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 key, 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 chicky, 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 chick, 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 ten, 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 chickten, 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 cell, 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 13 chicky, chickten cell, 13 chicky, chickten cell, 13 chicky, chickten cell, 13 chicky, chickten cell, lo, 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 nyen, ngin, 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 longin, 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 shi, 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 pa, 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 shepa, 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 mung, 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 na, 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 young, 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 longye shepa mangna yang, longye shepa mangna yang, longye shepa mangna yang, longye shepa mangna yang, gyu, 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 kar, 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 gyukar, 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 shin, 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 tu, 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 shintu, 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 sel, 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 me, 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 nu, 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 sel menu, sel menu, sel menu, sel menu, gyukar shinto 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 sel menu, keba yunden gyun lapa, tarchin chiki chikden sel, longyen sheba mana yang, gyukar shinto sel menu, keba yunden gyun lapa, tarchin chiki chikden sel, longyen sheba mana yang, gyukar shinto sel menu, keba yunden gyun lapa, tarchin chiki chikden sel, longyen sheba mana yang, gyukar shinto sel menu, keba yunden gyun lapa, tarchin chiki chikden sel, longyen sheba mana yang, gyukar shinto sel menu, keba yunden gyun lapa, tarchin chiki chikden sel, longyen sheba mana yang, gyukar shinto sel menu. So let me just do the syllable reading once. As you can observe that when I'm reading it in syllable, I'm emphasizing more on each particular word, especially the end of a syllable, the letter that comes at the end of the syllable. I'm pronouncing it in a way that it is being emphasized more. Ke, pa, yun, ten, gun, lap, pa. As you can hear that there is more emphasis at the end. Ke, pa, yun, ten, gun, lap, pa. As you can see that some of the words, especially the ones that are coming at the end and making a bold sound, are being made smoother, meaning that the individual emphasis of the letter is being restricted. So, ke, pa, yun, ten, gun, lap, pa, in which you can hear that I'm emphasizing on each of the syllable in order to improve my pronunciation of each syllable. And later, when I bring them all together in a word and then in a line, so you can see that the emphasis is limited. Meaning that there is a certain flow that must be retained. Tar, chin, chik, ki, chik, ten, sil. Tar, chin, chiki, chik, ten, sil. Tar, chin, chik, ki, chik, ten, sil. Tar, chin, chiki, chik, ten, sil. Lo, nyen, she, pa, mang, na, yang. 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 Yu, kar, shin, tu, sil, mi, nu. 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 Ke, pa, yun, ten, gun, lap, pa. Tar, chin, chik, ki, chik, ten, sil. Lo, nyen, she, pa, mang, na, yang. Yu, kar, shin, tu, sil, mi, nu. Ke, pa, yun, ten, gun, lap, pa. Tar, chin, chik, ki, chik, ten, sil. Lo, nyen, she, pa, mang, na, yang. Yu, kar, shin, tu, sil, mi, nu. So, every one of you must have observed the emphasis on each part. So therefore, the emphasis is made in order to improve the pronunciation. So if you're capable of pronouncing each syllable clearly, and more importantly, if you're able to pronounce the combination of any two consonant or consonant vowel clearly, and then to a more fundamental level, if you're capable of pronouncing each fundamental or the basic sounds clearly, then your sound as your pronunciation as you read an entire line will be clear and pronounced well. So let me read this entire verse one more time, and then we'll have Nadiela who will be reading after me. Keba yunden kun lapa, terchin chiki chikden sel, longen sheba mangnayang, yugar shinto sel minu. Okay, so today we have Nadiela who will be reading after me. So do we have Nadiela today? Lasso.
Yeah, I'm here.
Lasso. Okay, so I'll be reading each syllable 4 times, and then a line, then word, line, and then when we do the verse, reading of the verse, I will be listening and then giving you feedbacks. And if there are any necessary feedback that would be required while you're pronouncing each syllable or each word, then I'll make them accordingly. So okay. Let us begin. Ke,
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 pa,
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 kepa,
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 yun,
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 ten,
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 yun 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 ten,
kun,
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 lap,
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 pa,
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 kepa, yun ten, kun lap 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 pa,
thar,
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 chin,
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 thirchin,
tarchin,
thirchin,
tarchin,
thirchin,
tarchin,
thirchin,
tarchin,
chick,
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 ki,
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 chicky,
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 chick,
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 ten,
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 cell,
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 chicken 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 cell,
13 chicky, chicken cell,
tarchin, chicky, 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 chicken cell,
lo,
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 ngin,
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 longin,
lungin,
longin,
lungin,
longin,
lungin,
longin,
lungin,
shit,
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 she,
pa,
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 shepa,
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 mang,
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 na,
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 yang,
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 mang na 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 yang,
long ye shepa mang na yang,
long en shepa mang na yang,
long ye shepa mang na yang,
long en shepa mang na yang,
long ye shepa mang na yang,
long en shepa mang na yang,
long ye shepa mang na yang,
long en shepa mang na yang,
shepa,
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 long ye shepa mang na yang,
long en shepa mang na yang,
you,
gyu,
you,
gyu,
you,
gyu,
you.
gyu,
Okay, so we'll do a character reading of this. Ra,
ra,
ra khata ga,
yeah, but
Ra.
I didn't hear.
lasso,
Say again.
ra,
Ra,
ra khata ga,
ra kata ka,
ra khata ga yata gya.
ra kata ka yata kya.
Okay, so here what we have to do is that the thing is that before we are combining with the ra, the ga sound is already coming there. So the sound should be ka, ka,
Ka,
ka,
ra kata ka,
ra,
ka.
ra.
Oh my God, I don't hear well.
Are
Ra,
you able to hear me?
oh, your voice is going and coming back. Now it's clear.
Okay,
It's
so
like the,
I think this is because of the connection. So
the connection, yes.
yes, I think my connection is not that good right now. Okay, so let's try again. Ra,
Ra,
ra khata ga,
ra kata ka,
ra khata ga yata gya,
ra kata ka yata kya,
ra khata ga yata gya shabkyu kyu.
ra kata ka yata kya shakyu.
Ra,
Ra,
ra khata ga,
ra kata ga,
ra khata ga yata gya,
ra kata ga yata kya,
ra khata ga yata gya shabkyu kyu.
ra kata ga yata kya shakyu.
Ra,
Ra,
ra khata ga,
ra kata ga,
ra khata ga yata gya,
ra kata ga yata kya,
ra khata ga yata gya shabkyu kyu.
ra kata ga yata kya shakyu.
Okay, so the reason why I did this was for you to experience the transition when we're adding different letters together. So there is a transition of sound. So many of time what happen is that people tend to pronounce ga even before adding it to ra. So there, in that case, what happened is that one is unable to understand when the transition is happening. So that is the reason why we did the character reading here.
Yes, thank you.
Lasso, Q,
Gyu,
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 kar,
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 shin,
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 tu,
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 shintu,
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 sel,
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 mi,
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 nu,
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 sel minu,
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 yukar shintu sel minu,
gyukar shintu sel minu,
yukar shintu sel minu,
gyukar shintu sel minu,
yukar,
gyukar,
yukar,
gyukar,
yukar shintu sel minu,
gyukar shintu sel minu,
yukar,
gyukar,
kar,
kar,
yukar shintu sel minu,
gyukar shintu sel minu,
yukar shintu sel minu,
gyukar shintu sel minu,
yukar shintu sel minu,
gyukar shintu sel minu,
kepa yönde gün lapa,
kepa yonten kun lapa,
terchin chiki chikden sel,
tarchin chiki chikten sel,
longen shepa mangna yang,
lungen shepa mangnayang,
yukar shintu sel minu,
gyukar shintu sel minu,
kepa yönde gün lapa,
kepa yonten kun lapa,
terchin chiki chikden sel,
tarchin chiki chikten sel,
longen shepa mangna yang,
lungen shepa mangnayang,
yukar shintu sel minu,
gyukar shintu sel minu,
kepa yönde gün lapa,
kepa yonten kun lapa,
terchin chiki chikden sel,
tarchin chiki chikten sel,
longen shepa mangna yang,
lungen shepa mangnayang,
yukar shintu sel minu,
gyukar shintu sel minu,
kepa yönde gün lapa,
kepa yonten kun lapa,
terchin chiki chikden sel,
tarchin chiki chikten sel,
longen shepa mangna yang,
lungen shepa mangnayang,
yukar shintu sel minu.
gyukar shintu sel minu.
Okay, so a little work here. So terchin,
Tarchin.
terchin,
Oh, again it's gone. Say it again. Gülnaz.
terchin,
Tarchin.
terchin,
Tarchin.
terchin,
Tarchin.
yukar,
Gyukar.
yukar,
Gyukar.
yukar,
Gyukar.
yukar.
Gyukar.
Okay, so this and this needs a little work, but it's actually coming out very well. So just a slight work that is required. Here, a little emphasis on this, and here a little bit. So can you repeat this? Terchin.
Tarchin.
So this is actually coming quite well. So here, not a lot of work, just to pronounce it again and again. to make the sound a little much more smoother in transition. Here, a little bit emphasis on kar. That's it. Otherwise, rest are being pronounced well. So thank you for reading. And yes, so please revisit this, and then you can try and reading it again, so that these two, this is actually coming quite well. This, a little bit emphasize on this while reading in a line. When you're reading it individually, it's coming very well. But when we are reading in line, somewhat this loses its sound of ra sometimes. So kukar, a little work. Other than that, rest are fine. Lasso.
Thank you, Gyalda.
Lasso. Okay. Now we go to the English translation. So this translation is by John T. Davenport, the book that we're using. So a single wise man who has fully developed all good qualities illumes the earth, but the mean-spirited, like stars, even when numerous, cannot illuminate. So this is the translation by John T. Davenport. And what this verse means is that it states that a single person who has good qualities, and a single person who is capable of having the mind of benefiting others, if those people, when they fully develop, meaning that when they have completed all their learning, and after that they are capable of they reach a stage where they have fully developed. So a single wise person who has fully developed, meaning that a person who has completed all their learning, and not only any type of person, but a person who has a great sense of serving others, a great sense of helping others, a great sense of having the altruistic mind, that particular type of person, when they fully develop, all of their good qualities illumes the earth, just like the sun. Though it is just one sun, it is capable of illuminating the entire earth. It's capable of providing light, dispelling the darkness over the entire earth. So just like the sun, that one person is like the sun, being able to illumine the entire earth, meaning being able to give the teaching from their own experience in order to make other people realize of their own situation and state, and then thus to work to make oneself better. But the mean-spirited, so the people who have evil thoughts, people who have negative emotions such as jealousy, hatred towards other, these people are like the stars in the sky. So here, when we talk about stars, it should be understood as understanding stars as we observe them. And so just like the stars who are in the night sky, who simply twinkle, even when numerous cannot illuminate, meaning that even though when we look at the sky, we see clusters and clusters, thousands upon thousands, we see thousands of stars in the sky. But just like the sun in the morning, which is capable of illuminating the entire surface of the earth that it falls upon, the stars may be numerous, meaning that they may be many of stars, but they're unable to illuminate the surface of earth, just like the mean-spirited people who have evil thoughts and negative emotions. They're unable to realize good qualities within other people, because they themselves have not been in touch with those qualities of themselves, so they cannot illuminate others. So this is the example that Sakya Pandita provides for the first So we see that unlike the previous verse, here the first verse is the meaning, the second is the example, third is the meaning, fourth is the example. So the action of illuminating here, as it is written, as an example, it could be understood as illuminating the surface of the earth, meaning dispelling the darkness over the earth, and the actual meaning could be taken as to illuminate, or to illume means to dispel the darkness that is due to one's ignorance, one's negative emotions, one's negative thoughts. So therefore, in the meaning, it means to dispel the ignorance, but in the example, it has been given as illuminating the surface of earth. Just like the sun illuminates and dispels the darkness upon the surface of earth, one person, one wise person, one single wise person who have great sense of benefiting others, who have the well-being of others before self. That type of person, when they have completely developed, meaning that they have done all their learning, they are capable of illuminating the good quality, arising the good quality within everyone that they touch. And the other one is the opposite, is that the mean-spirited, the person who have only self before others, who have the self-centered, egocentric mind, and who have evil thoughts, evil intention towards others, they're incapable of arising those thoughts and emotions within others. In contrary, they will arise all the negative emotions within others. And just like the stars, it doesn't matter if there is thousands and thousands of stars, it is incapable of illuminating the surface of earth as the sun does solely. So this is the meaning of this verse. And now this is my take on the translation. A single person, upon completion of their learning, so completion of learning should be understood as attaining enlightenment, illumes the entire world as does the sun. So this is the example. They illume the entire world. And here we must understand that illume should be understood in two ways. One as the actual meaning, other as the example. For the actual meaning, it means to illume the to illuminate or to illume the darkness due to ignorance within a person. And so that ignorance and that darkness is being dispelled by that one single person. Just like the sun that illuminates or illumes the entire world, the knowledge and the wisdom of that person will illuminate and dispel the ignorance of the entire world, even though there may be many evil thoughts arising. So this should be understood in two ways. So here I have given the prospect of evil thoughts, but it could also be understood as people with evil thoughts. So even though there are many evil thoughts arising, or maybe many people with evil thoughts arising, it doesn't matter if they have strength in number. It cannot illume the darkness, or it cannot illuminate the darkness. Similar to as the million stars, thousands and millions of stars in the sky, probably to our visible, to a vision, probably few thousands, but in the sky, there are, in the space, there are millions, billions upon billions upon billions of stars. And the ones which are visible, there may be thousands. And these thousands of stars together cannot illume the world. They cannot illuminate the world. Doesn't matter, they have strength in number. Will not be able to fulfill that particular reason. So therefore, just like the sun, a single sun illumes the entire world. A single person with the sense. You can hear me, right? Everyone's able to hear me, is it? Yes. Okay, so Lasso. So I hope that you can hear me. I think this has to be with the connection. Today the connection seems to be quite poor in general, so that might be the reason. Okay, so just as a single person who illumes or dispels the darkness of the entire world by teaching the path to awakening or to enlightenment, the sun needs the entire earth, single sun. And even though there may be many of evil thoughts arising in oneself or even in others, or many people with evil thoughts, it cannot illume the darkness. Just like millions and thousands of stars, thousands and millions of stars in the sky, which is incapable of illuminating the surface. So even though they have the strength in number, they are incapable of doing things individually, thus leading to being incapable of doing it even with a number as their strength. So this is the meaning of this verse. So now let us go to the term table where we have the new words for today's from today's verse. The first one is lap, which is the future tense of to study. After having learned knowledge, one becomes the walls of knowledge. It means the excellent vault of knowledge. So let me just add excellent. Excellent. So still true. So excellent vault of knowledge. 13 means to complete. It might mean complete. It might mean ultimate. It can also mean completion. So 13 means complete. Chawa kangshi kot zomba tang. Chawa kangshi kot zomba na te 13 ba che gyoba ni kelchen potre. Which means that let's see. Yes. The punctuation is missing here. Chawa kangshi kot zomba na te 13 ba che gyoba ni kelchen potre. Whenever beginning anything, so whenever you begin anything, it is important to understand that one must complete what they have begun. They have. So whatever they have begun, they have to complete it. And it's very important to complete what they start. Longyen Shepa means evil mindset. The evil mindset of afflictions are only suddenly arising momentarily. So the mind of affliction, it's not that one is constantly it's not like one is constantly concentrating or thinking about the afflictions. It's not that, for example, it's not that one is constantly thinking about attachment. One is constantly thinking about anger and aggression. It happens suddenly and momentarily. It happens for a very short duration of time. But then if one fuels it by recalling things that have arisen these thoughts, then one is capable of extending the duration of suffering. But by the nature, evil mindset of afflictions are only suddenly arising momentarily. So nyomon lo ni sheba ni lopur himparshi. Kukar, which means stars. Kukar tsopen namkar simki nesar tesons. In the cluster of stars, my mind has made its home. So these are the examples statement. These are example statement that I have provided for each word. And those who are making sentence could look at them and then start making sentences for each word. So these are the 4 new terms in today's verse. The rest we have already discussed in our previous, for example, yunde, kun, chikne, sel, and then nu. These, and chik is something that most of us know. This means one. So we have already discussed most of the words in previous lessons. So therefore, these are the new ones that we haven't discussed till now. So lap, which means learned. Harchi, complete. Longe sheba, evil mindset. Yukar, stars. So these are the example statement. And so now before so today's verse is a verse by Shantideva from his book of following the path of the Bodhisattva. So it's a verse from that particular book, which I will be reciting afterwards as a form of auspicious completion. But before that, if you have any questions regarding today's lesson, any questions, be it regarding pronunciation, meaning, and it could be regarding how to pronounce something, how to read something, or how to what's the meaning of a particular word. So it could be regarding the meaning or the pronunciation. So if anyone has questions regarding those, please ask away right now, and I can answer them.
Genla, now to
Hello.
you.
Lasso.
First, thank you for your teaching.
Lasso.
I have 2 questions
Lasso.
today. First about grammar, and
Mhm.
second about meaning.
Lasso.
The first is easy, and it's about chigi. Here we see that numeral part of phrase going before the related words, not as an inversion of ordinary order. It's a very funny tool. Would you give us an example how to use this method of speaking in ordinary speech, not in poetry?
Okay, so so this actually is 13 chiki chikense. In this particular line, we see that the usage, for example, for chick, right? So here the chick is depicting a numeration, but one must also understand that this is also part of the entire subject. So since this is the third grammatical case where we depict an action that is done by a subject, what we do is that we always place the subject in front of the particle. So therefore, so this we do we usually do. Let me get a slide here. This will be. So, like we say, for example, in the grammatical sense, the third grammatical case, it will have 3 necessary components, as we know: the subject, the action, and the particle. So, Honki Sheba, right? And this is how we actually write or speak Hongi Sheba. So therefore, here we see that this entire part is becoming the subject. So therefore, this is something that is grammatically correct, and it comes before the particle. And in this particular statement, we also have an object, which is chikde. This is the object, and this is the action. So normally this is the correct statement. So were you asking me how one should write it normally, or what was the question, the first one, if you would repeat it?
Sorry, maybe I am not get get this line. I think that chigi relate to Jigten. This means that this first person in this poetry illuminate one world.
No,
so
no.
I think that chigi relate to Jigten. Is it right or not?
No. This is related to this chick over here. So 13 means after completion, right? And this chick, actually, this functions very wonderfully. What this chick does is that this is related to kepa. So actually it means kepa chick, and this becomes the entire subject, kepa chick. But what is the characteristic of this kepa, this one scholar, is that he has studied everything, and after completion, this one scholar illuminates the entire world. So therefore it becomes the subject. So chick is not related to chikne. It is referring to kepa. And sometimes we might also understand that this acts like a pronoun also. So that's so.
Wow. And the next question is harder, and it's about the sense. So as you are Sakya Legshe, I want to ask you as you answer. I confused by the third line. Here we see long N. That's we understand what is it, and after this we see Shepa.
Yes.
I accustomed to feel Shepa as something like wise, something good quality. So what I want to ask you, why you put the good quality after bad quality? Okay. What do you want to say by this combining? Thank you.
Lesser. So Sakya Pandita says has written Longye Shepa, right? So what you're referring to is something else. What you are referring to is Sherab. Sherab is wisdom, so it is good. But Shepa and Lo, the thing is that I thought that you were going to ask me another question, actually, which I had that during that time when I was studying Sakya Legshe, was Lo and Shepa are the same word. They are synonyms, which both means mind and consciousness. So also understand this. Shepa is a garund. So we know what is a garund. It's a word that sometimes acts as a noun. And then we have garund of verbs, which acts as a verb. For example, Shepa, which means consciousness, is noun. Shepa, which is to comprehend, is a verb, which means Dingye shesung, which means I understood this, I comprehend this. Dingye shebayins, dingye jangbayins, dikwe shebares. So if we say, let me write this. Dikwe sheba re, which means this is something that he has already comprehend. So this is verb here. But if we say Miki Shepa, the consciousness of the eye. But this now becomes noun. So here, Longye Shepa is noun. So there is nothing good or bad here. It's just definitely Sherab is a noun and it means good. But Lo and Shepa are both same. So you also have word like Nyumon Be Lo, Nyumon Be Shepa. So we have Nyumon Be Lo and Nyumon Be Shepa, which both means the mind of affliction, the negative affliction, the three poison. Nyumon Be Lo Sum, Nyumon Be Shepa Sum. the three negative afflicted mind, the three negative afflicted consciousness. So here, this means consciousness. So it means negative mind. But yes, I used to ask, we already have lo, which means consciousness. So why the shepa? Why do we need shepa? Longye shepa. So the thing is that longye shepa. So here, when we talk about longye shepa, which now we have to understood as someone who has, it could be understood. I have always thought that this actually meant consciousness in the beginning, but now after actually when I had the classes on this, what was told to me is that shepa here should be understood as someone who comprehends, who holds this, who has this in their heart. So therefore, longye shepa refers to people with negative emotions. And as much as it feels that, oh, comprehend, to understand is somewhat a positive word, but here it has a meaning that entirely goes towards negative meaning. The one, it's negative not because of itself, it's negative because of its companion. So here it's more like a neutral word. That means the one that holds it within their mind, the one who has it within their mind, a person that has it within their mind. So longye shepa manaya, meaning the one people who have that in their mind. So those people who have this negative emotions in their mind are many in numbers. So that is what it means. So even in the beginning, I was thinking when I was reading it, like when I was first studying this under my teacher, he used to read it, and I was always thinking, why shepa? We already have lo. And then he said that this is something everyone thinks at the beginning, that shepa is somewhat the noun that means someone. That means consciousness, but this is a noun that refers to a person who comprehends something, a person who has it in their mind or in their heart. So therefore here the shepa is someone who has the negative emotions, who have been well versed, who have great impressions of negative mind, so much so in their mind that they have been very well versed in having negative emotions within their self. So shepa. Longye shepa manaya, those who have negative mind in their heart are many in numbers. So therefore, shepa here is a neutral term, but it is influenced by the negative term that it follows. So therefore, the entire thing becomes negative, but this itself is a neutral term. It's a person who comprehends something. It could be a good thing that they comprehend. It could be a bad thing that they comprehend. So we can also say, let me make a sentence. So, nye mi se what? Mi se ve sel he sheson. I have comprehended the skill to kill people. So in this way, we understand that this is a neutral term. It could go in either way. And here it particularly means, because of the pa, it is the personal practice. It's the personal particle, which makes something a person. So it means someone who comprehends or who has the negative mind in their heart, or who have it within them. So that is the meaning here. So any follow-up question regarding this?
Okay, thank you. I get you. But a small remark, if you permit.
Yes, sir.
All these two words, law and share, are neutral. Okay, accepted. But how easy we can pollute the first by adding n. And I don't remember the same pollution of share. Am I right or not? So we put nyan after law and we make it dirty, but we cannot add the same thing to the share, right? In
So you mean,
some way, in some share, it's maybe neutral, but in some way, share is more powerful. you cannot waste it, pollute by adding yen.
okay. So you mean to say that if we use she by itself, we cannot pollute it by adding yin, meaning that
Right.
she is more towards positive.
Yes, yes. More powerful by its nature, but linguistic nature.
Yes, definitely. Because normally when we talk about understanding and comprehending, it's something that we usually it's something that comes naturally to us, that it has to go with something that's more into a positive way. So that could be the mindset that is leading us towards there also. So what do you think?
Sounds interesting.
Yes,
to think
so
about
please think about this, and then I'll provide you more example where she could be inclined towards negative later. So
Okay.
that could make things more easier to accept. Lesser. Okay, so do we have any more questions?
Yes, can I
Lesser?
ask a question
Yes.
regarding this? Usually, long in after long in, what verb do we use? Like
long in.
if some long in, for example, some lo tang or some lo kol. So long in she or
long in she. Long in hun. Hun means to become clear or to come out, to show the real nature. So long in hun. Which means to be made clear, to become more clear. So long in hun, something to come to its true nature, something to manifest into its true nature. So long in hun.
Do we use a long in she?
Long in she. So to comprehend the negative mind, to learn the negative mind. So normally longyan are something that comes very, very natural to us, that we don't think that there is need to learn those things. So
lasso.
So any other words, any other questions? Do you have any other questions? Then we have the verb chang, longye chang, which means to hold within. So yes. So any more questions? If not, then I'll go to the verse. Today's verse is by Arya Deva, not by me. It's a very wonderful verse. So if we don't have any questions, so make sure that you write the same question in the group. I'll answer them by writing. Sometimes when I write, I provide more example. Things are much clearer than I speak. Because when I speak, it's more spontaneous. When I write, I think, I write, then I think again, then I write. And then there is a moment of, sometimes a moment of clarity in between, and then I erase everything and I write again. And then somewhat makes more clarity with the answer. So make sure every question that you have asked me here, post it in the group. And some questions I might not have answered, I will answer it tomorrow. And there is no assignments regarding this. So make sure if you can, please make sentence and send it to me. I will check. I will send feedback. So, okay. So since there is no questions, let me just read this verse. So this is a verse from Shanti Deva's text of following the path of Bodhisattva, the 8th chapter. It's from the 8th chapter. Okay, so dade shengi tunga tha yangda jewar marchena sangi nitu mitrupchi Kwana dewa mes. So what does this line mean? It's a very beautiful line. It says that if one is incapable of substituting one's happiness, whenever one is receiving a happiness, experiencing happiness, if great joyfulness and blissfulness, if one is unable of substituting that feeling to the suffering of others, saying that this feeling of joyfulness is very good, I give it to everyone. And then when one knows when they are suffering, the feeling of suffering is miserable, so I take it to me. I should be the one who takes everything, and everyone should have the joyfulness that I experience. Understand, this is the mind of the Bodhisattva. It's not a mind that average person will have. It is something that's very counter to, because it requires a certain type of mental strength to accept these things. So Shantideva says, for Bodhisattva, they should say, may all this happiness that I feel in my life, even the smallest of the smallest happiness, I will replace them. I will provide them to everyone. I will take the suffering for myself. So, if you're incapable of substituting your own happiness and exchanging your own happiness for the suffering of others, it is impossible to attain enlightenment, to become a Buddha. Not only that, having a self-centered mind, to always desire happiness for self, to always desire fulfillment for only self, that sense of selfishness, with that, one will not be able to enjoy a worldly life also. It doesn't matter if you have built an empire of gold, if you're eating in the plate of gold, sleeping in the bed of gold, have a house of gold. If one is self-centered without any sense of benevolence towards others, one will always be met with misery. Doesn't matter if you own the entire world. The only thing for you will be misery. And that is what Shantideva was saying, that this is about the practice of like we said in English, we have to understand other people's point of view, to live on other people's, to walk on other people's shoe, meaning that understanding how they are suffering, and thus willingness to exchange one's happiness for their suffering. So this is one of the two main ways of arising the bodhicitta. One is through the seven steps of cause and effect to attain bodhisattva, bodhicitta, and the other one is this exchanging one and us, exchanging equally exchanging oneself and others, to see the suffering of others, to feel the suffering of others. Because one may think that, oh, that person is very rich, he may have no problem, but we don't understand that they may be truly miserable, even worse than many of us. So this is what Shantideva is saying. Now with this verse, we complete today's lesson most wonderfully. Today is the second last lesson. On Sunday, we'll have the final lesson of our course of intermediate reading, part 1. So please remember, this is part 1, meaning that there will be few intermediate reading coming. We will not be able to say that we know we can do intermediate reading with just this course. We will have continuation later, maybe with different texts, maybe with same text, but that will be decided later and announced accordingly. So we are done with this most wonderfully, most auspiciously. Thank you very much for joining in today and participating in this class, making it a very wonderful class. Thank you for most wonderful questions, which intrigue both the one who's asking and myself. Now I have few questions that I must ask, and then I must answer it. So therefore, very wonderful questions for those who have asked questions, those who have participated. Wonderful that you have participated in today's class. Thank you very much for participating. I hope today's class was beneficial, as it was very beneficial to me. And those who are joining me for the reading class only, I'll see you on Sunday. Those who are joining me for the revision class for grammar, now the usage case only, I'll see you on Friday. And so please read, revise, recite, memorize. Thank you very much. And Tashitele to everyone. And thank you very, very much.